educational support and enhanced learning experiences. So let's see briefly what means these 5 categories before go deep in all of these. Sorry, I read the chat a moment. Okay, the organizer asks if you can try to switch on the microphone for a moment and try to talk or say something, please. Are you able to know?
Hello, this is Deji talking.
Okay, thank you.
I find it talking, yes. I'm testing my mic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deji.
Thank you, Deji.
Okay.
Okay.
The others can do it, please. Are you able to switch on the microphone and try to talk and say something like Deji did?
This is Ogilo talking.
Okay, I can hear you. Great. The others?
Hello, this is James talking. Testing the
Great.
mic.
Thanks, James.
Thank
Okay,
you,
so
James.
apparently everyone can now talk and maybe also ask questions to Marco. So feel free to interrupt him whenever you feel the need to ask something or whenever you have some doubts. Thank you. Marco, you can go on. Sorry for the interruption.
Thank you, no problem, Ivan. Thank you. So let's go on. The first category is digital tools and resources. This category comprehend all the educational technologies and resources, including computer, software application, online platforms, and multimedia content designed to facilitate and enhance educational activities. We will go in deep after. So the second category is enhanced learning experience. So this category include technologies which aim to improve the overall learning experience for students by providing opportunities for interactive, engaging, and personalizing learning. They can include simulations, virtual labs, ebooks, and multimedia presentation. Another category that we will see is the instructional support category. So this category comprehends educational technologies which are created in order to assist educators in delivering instruction more effectively and efficiently. This category comprehends, in particular, the learning management systems called LMS. For example, this LMS can help teachers in order to organize course material, track student progress, and facilitate communication with students. And this category, that is really important, will be explored in detail in lesson 3. The accessibility and inclusivity category include all the categories that play a crucial role in making education more accessible to diverse learners, including those with disabilities or special needs, and comprehend, for example, screen reader, closed captioning, adaptive learning platform created to promote inclusivity. And the last category is data analytics category that comprehend the educational technology which can generate data and analytics that help educators in order to assess student performance, identify areas for improvement, and make data-driven decision to enhance teaching and learning strategies. And this, in particular, will be discussed more in detail, not in lesson 10, sorry for the mistake, but during the next lesson. Okay. So I go back for a moment. What can we say? Another important thing to underline is that these categories are not closed. What I mean, several kind of technologies could be comprehended in more than one category, because maybe could have different features that different features which can allow us to identify them with one or another and another category at the same time. For example, there are several learning management systems that are that behave to instructional support categories, at the same time can behave to enhance the learning experience category, because offer also, for example, possibility to use simulation software or virtual labs, for example. Okay. And now the last thing that is important to underline before go on is that we will see different kind of technologies. Several of these will be really complex technologies, and another group of these will be maybe more accessible because they are simple and more important, maybe they are free and easy to use. Even there are low budget technologies in order to use it. For example, all the devices or low speed internet connection, for example. Of course, we cannot think to use educational technologies if we have not any kind of technology available. Okay. In the most part of the case, I always suggest also for the schools, also for the vet centers, which have the possibility to implement a good infrastructure. But it's also good to use easy technologies, not complex technologies, because if we use complex educational technologies, we risk to lose the centrality of the student in the design of lessons, and in our teaching practices. So now I would like to ask you a contribution about this. So please, if you have already used technology to support your teaching activities, I would like to know your experience about this. And so please, if you can share with me and your colleagues your experience by talking, by answering to the form or writing in the chat, we can start a little reflection before go deep in the categories. Please, anybody would like to talk about his experience in using technology for education?
Hello. Hope you
Hello.
can hear me, Marco. This is Deji
Hello,
speaking.
Deji.
Yes. So I have two experiences. One, I was taking pneumatics, and the students were trying to follow, but they were dragging behind. So I used a Festo simulator to teach them, and
Yes.
they were able to grab it. And on their own, I also gave them the software they could practice outside when we are done with the course. So that was one experience. Then the second experience, I used to take controllers in instrumentation, the P&ID. So I had an experience that when the students have to work with the simulator, they don't understand. So I had to adapt that they will work with the simulator before we go to class. So they have probably like 5 or 10% understanding. Then for the real practical, they now have to use the simulator. I discovered that by the second time, they will have really understood. So from my experience, what I know is that some simulators, probably the introduction, they easily get it. But some, they might actually need adequate time to really practice. Those are just my experiences.
Deji, this is really interesting what you already said, I think. Really interesting. And this kind of the kind of software that we were talking about behave to the category has a learning experience. And could be a good instrument in order to start with the practice activities, with practical activities. And so really thank you, Degis. Everybody else, please can write something in the form or in the chat, or open the mic and share the experience, please. Nobody? Okay. So let's go on. So if nobody has experience to share, can go on. Okay. So we can go deep with the first category, digital tools and resources. The category digital tools and resources comprehend educational technologies and a wide range of tools and resources designed to facilitate enhance educational activities, like and comprehend also hardware and software applications. For example, the hardware made in order to enhance the hardware created for education are often combined with software application and online platform to create comprehensive educational technology solutions that cater to a wide range of learning needs and performance. We can see some example of hardware. First of all, of course, computers in different forms, like desktop, laptop, tablets, and all the devices that are essential for accessing and interact with the educational software content and access in internet, or other more specific hardware like interactive whiteboards, which allow to project, for example, slides and you interact with multimedia content directly in the classroom in order to engage students in interactive lessons. The computer, the hardware, sorry, the category of computers are of course mandatory if we would like to use technology in education. Maybe we can use old computers or computers not really with low amount of capacity, but they are mandatory. The second subcategory that we were seeing is something a little more expensive and before to introduce them inside the school, we need to know if we have the funds in order to buy it and in order to maintain it, because if we want to use an interactive whiteboard, we need to buy the interactive whiteboards and a projector, and we have also to propose a training for teacher, because teacher need to learn to use it, because they are not really easy technology to use. In the last years, a lot of schools in Italy, but also around the world, I think, bought a lot of these devices, but not all the schools were able to use it, and they spent a lot of funds, most part public funds, in order to buy and install these devices that have never been used and have never used, because they need a stable connection with the internet, so a good infrastructure. So they need the teacher skill to use it. They need a lot of things. Okay, I think that's all. In order to have a synthesis, you have to remember that technology, the hardware, like computer, like a laptop, tablet, etc., are mandatory if you want to access to educational technology, the most part of educational technologies. Other kind of hardware, like interactive whiteboard, are absolutely not mandatory, are only an example of educational technology hardware. So other let's see other example of educational technology hardware. For example, tablets and e-reader. You know, maybe, I think that you know what is a tablet, but we can repeat anyway. So tablets are really different than a PC because of the operative systems. Because the tablet has got the operative system of the smartphone. The only difference is that the screen is larger. So they can be really useful if we use web-based technologies for support teaching. But if we need specific software which have been developed for a PC operative system, we cannot use it on the tablet. Moreover, the tablet is have not the power of a PC, of course. There are other features that can be great for the school or for the education, like the long duration of the battery and the transportability, because they are thin than a PC or a laptop, and less expensive. In the most part of cases, they could be a little bit less expensive than the PC. And these are the main features. Another kind of hardware are the e-readers that they look like a little tablet, but is useful only for read books, because they have a screen, a different kind of screen, called e-paper, that allow us to better read the long content, like, for example, the e-books. But I think that you already know this. The main example of this kind of technology is the Kindle of Amazon, but there are a lot of models of e-reader. In my opinion, this device could be useful because we can have a lot of written material inside one very little and transportable device. And moreover, the last models of this device have give the possibility, for example, to underline sentences, take notes, etc. and the battery are really we have a lot of time. The battery allows to use them for a lot of time without recharging. So if we have, for example, the problem with the paper materials, for example, if we have problem to find paper materials and transport it, or if, for example, if students have problem with the transport and finding paper material, e-reader could be a good solution. The only thing to remember is that the only thing to remember is that if, for example, if we buy a particular kind of ebooks like Amazon Kindle, all the material is have to be bought on the Kindle store. So I suggest to if you would like to try it or propose to the student to buy e-readers not branded by Amazon, for example, where you can change, you can upload files, text files, without be chained with the Amazon store. Last thing is that the ebooks are really good with EPUB files that are files specifically created in order to read the books on ebooks, but they are not very good. They are not very good with other formats, like, for example, PDF files, because the screen is really small. Okay. Another kind of technology. Sorry, before go on, I would like to show you an example. Give me a moment. So here you can see several models of ebook readers, for example. As you can see, in front of the hand, confronting the ebook with the hand is really small, and is really good in order to read long books. Okay. And then another kind of technology, hardware educational technologies, is comprehend robotics and maker kits. So we can buy kits which include hardware components like microcontroller, sensor, and actuators that enable students to build program robots and other devices, fostering hands-on learning on STEM education. This STEM education are science, technology, and mathematics, engineering mathematics subject. So I would like to show you some example of these kits. Okay, as you can see, these are several options. The most part of these kits give with a low cost. We give you several components that allow you to build and program a robot, a leader robot, and could be really useful for who you teach for example, informatics or maybe also engineering. Is really good for coding, etc. Maybe someone of you already heard about the Arduino. Arduino is the basis of the most part of these little kits for robot construction. So give me only one moment because I lost your chat. Only one moment, I'll back. Where are you? Okay, I found you again. Perfect. Okay, found it. Okay. So another kind of hardware is the virtual or augmented reality. Virtual or augmented reality devices, which are hardware that you can put on your eyes. Like glasses, but I think that you know what I mean, and which can allow you to see virtual reality, or in the case of course, virtual reality, or if they can add to your site to what you are seeing several information. If you give me a moment, I can give you some example of augmented reality. For which regard the augmented reality is not they are not constricted in the use of glasses, but the augmented reality can be used also with the phone, for example, with the smartphone in particular. And now I will show you what I mean. So you can see here an example of augmented reality. This is for example, for the sponsor of a brand. As you can see, the guy who is using the augmented reality can add the shoes on his feet, seeing the effect of each model on the screen of the smartphone. And for example, if you can imagine to use the virtual reality inside a laboratory during the practice lesson, during practical lesson, and I think that it could be a really good solution, because maybe the students or also the worker can see maybe information about what they are doing by looking the situation throughout their smartphone. Of course, we are talking about a technology that already exists, but is but is not developed enough in order to be used by everybody, because it's a little bit expensive, and it needs a powerful hardware. For example, powerful smartphone or virtual glasses that are really expensive. So let's see more basic hardware technology like projectors that nowadays are present, for example, in the most part in a big amount of classes, and they reached a low cost and a low dimension that allow a lot of schools and situation to buy and use it. For example, there are really small projectors that can be transported and in a bag, that which student and trainer, which trainer can bring with them everywhere and use when they have to do lessons, for example, in order to project slides, multimedia, and something like what they want. So other hardware technologies that can we use for education are, for example, the cameras that nowadays are in every single smartphone, so is a really available and accessible technology. And we can use it in order, we can use it, for example, to record practical activities and during practice, and in order to watch with the students in a second time to enhance errors or enhance good practice, and other things like this. So I think they could be very useful. And moreover, another subcategory of hardware are the audiovisual equipment, that includes also microphones, speaker, headphones, which enhance audio clarity and facilitate multimedia learning experiences, such as online lectures and video tutorials. These are really useful, for example, for the language teachers, because if we have technology, we can give us for example, a really good audio quality. We can the students can listen a good quality speaking, and they can better learn languages, for example. But it's only a little example of there are a lot of possibility about this. So, have you any comments and questions about what we said about the software digital resource? I give you a moment in order to think about it. Someone would like to share, someone would like to write.
Hello, Marco.
Hello, Dave.
Yes, I think I've gone through those things you are going through. I think one that sounds very interesting more is the augmented reality, because with that, we
Yes,
that are in the technical field, is always the best fit to get your student to learn, because when you explain concepts, particularly, sometimes they don't really pick, but they are on the expensive side. Are there ones that
yes.
are generic that one could just get and probably you use it to just you can get your own features and put them in, and you're able to use them for your learners?
I totally agree with you, Daisy. Totally agree with you. And the problem of this technology is that they are really expensive at the moment. But in the future, maybe could be really interesting in order to enhance the practical experiences, the practical teaching. Yeah. Um, so, of course, we are talking about educational technologies, but not all the technologies, with the technologies we are talking about are really available in the practice, because in reality, because they are at the moment they are not available, because maybe they are too expensive, because they don't works at the moment they don't work really well, because they are developing it. But I agree with you, Dej, that the potential of this kind of technology is really interesting. Yes. Everybody else have something to note, something to add? We were talking about the hardware for the moment. Okay, so before go on with the software of digital tools and resource, I would like to ask you if we can have 10-minute break, and so I can no, not 10, 5 minutes. So I will go back. I will come back at 4:10, 4:10. Okay, 4 past 10. So let's see in 5 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. We can go on. Okay, we can go on. So let's see some example of software that we can include inside the category digital tools and resources. Let's share the screen. Okay. Okay. So the software and application that not only software but also hardware. But now it's better to do this reflection with the software. So this for which regard the software application which we can include in digital tools and resource. We can find two kinds of software. There are software which are explicitly designed for educational purposes. So it means that the engineers and so the people who develop the software designed it in order to be useful for educational purposes. The other subcategory comprehend software that are not explicitly designed for educational purposes. So that it means that the software has been developed for the business in the main part of cases, the business or for commercial aims. But this doesn't mean that they are not really useful resources. I can give you big examples. For example, Google Map is a software that have not been developed with educational aim, but is really useful for educational purposes. And after we will also see together why it could be really useful. Okay. Now we will take time to explore several examples of software which are explicitly designed for educational purpose. I would like to propose 3 easy web-based software which have been developed with educational purpose. The first of these, the name of the first of these is WordWall. The first of these is WordWall. Now I open it and so we can have a look. Okay, as you can see, this is a web-based software, so you don't need to install it on your PC or on your tablet, but you can use it easily by using the browser of your PC or your smartphone or your tablet. So this web application allow you to use interactive exercises created by other users. So you can propose to use it to your students, for example, and or if you register and log in, you can also create exercises for your students. Of course, the second option is more complex because you need to learn how to create these exercises. And if you cannot pay for a premium account, you cannot create a lot of exercises. But anyway, is a really good instrument because without without pay for it, you can use a lot of resources. We can see an example. Match-up exercises, the category of exercises. So we can use this. As you can see, you can use this exercise in order to train the English language. So for example, you have to put the right word in the right place. Okay, and I wrong now in order to go fast and show you what happens at the end of the exercise. Okay. The casualty gives okay 3 point 3 point on 10. Okay, this is one example, but we have a really big amount of exercise, and not only for English, because we also have other subjects. Okay, so we can see this. For example, no, it's always English. Doesn't matter. If you have student K-12, for example, or also if you have adult students which need to learn English, for example, these are really useful, easy instruments that students can also use by themselves, for example, at home, in order to practice with English in this case. Okay, another software applications, also in this case web-based and really similar to WordWall, is Learning Apps. That is, I repeat, this really similar to what we already see with WordWall. In this moment, moment, I change the language. Okay. In this website that you can find in the slide, you can use the interactive exercise made by your colleagues, or you can also create an application. In this case, if you would like to register if you would like to create an app, you have not to pay because it's an open source site. We can see together some examples with the video that show what we can do with learning apps. As you can see, you can also start from an existing application, an existing learning app, and create something similar for your students. Also, in this case, the target is young students, but there are a lot of trainers which use it also with adults, maybe for learning English or for learning basic concept for a teacher in order to teach or train at home basic concepts for other subjects. We can try an easy app. For example, we can find a subject like engineering. If we need, for example, to teach something about monitor resolution, we have an app which tests the the notions about the monitor. Okay, the app asks us to answer correctly to the questions using the gamification in this case. So, for example, let's try what is HD. The resolution of the HD, which is the resolution of HD. We will try with this. No, I'm wrong because this was full HD. So let's try with this. Okay. What is QHD? And okay, there are a lot of questions. It could be interesting activity which use the gamification in order to obtain the attention and to obtain the attention of the students and train at home maybe. Okay, let's see another example, crossword labs. Okay, this is a really easy and interesting app. Also, this app is web-based, so we can easily create or find crossword which can be used with the students. So let's try. Let's see a crossword with maths. We can see we can create this crossword with the number and the questions. So maybe you can create a test with a little bit of gamification, which sorry, a little test with a lot of questions, but the words that students will insert in order to answer have to be inserted in the crossword. I know these are really easy and maybe we can say too easy tools, but I assure you that there are a lot of situations in which they can be useful in order to go out from the routine of the lesson, from the routine of the of the school activity, which can be very very thoughtful for the students. Okay, so let's see other examples of software, but in this case, these software that are really useful for educational intents are not have not been developed for education, but for commercial, but only for commercial aims. The first of these, the first would like to show you is, for example, Canva. Now I show you what it is. On the moment I change it in English. English India is better. Okay. Okay. So this website, this web app. Sorry, what? Okay. This web app allow you to create a big amount of content, of different contents, and these contents. In order to create this content, you need to be logged. So you have to register on the site, but you can use it. You can use it with a lot of. Sorry, we can use. You can use the main features of the software without pay. Of course, there is also the premium solution that which require you a payment, but the free solution is also good. So let's try to use it. Moment, because they logged out. Okay. So, moment is in Italian. I already changed, but Moment. English. Okay. Perfect. Okay. As you can see here, you can find a lot of things that you can do. Is really useful in order to create content for your students. So you can create really attractive documents. You can use it as a whiteboard. You can create presentations. So it is a good alternative, for example, to Google presentation or PowerPoint or something like this. You can create document, posters, Instagram posts, etc. So the main question that you could have is, okay, thank you, but why is interesting for me? Could be interesting for me to use this tool? The answer is very easy, because there are several ways to use this tool for teaching. The first of these is the more easy to think, which is the easy to think, is that we can create contents for students, of course. But we can also use these students, we can also use this tool in order to propose to use it to the students in order to create a content. For example, we can ask to the student to create a presentation on the contents we have talked about during the last lesson. Or we can ask to the student to create a poster. We can create we can ask to the student to create a work set, for example. Okay. Sorry, something. Moment, sorry. Okay. Let's see a poster. What can we do? We can assign a task to a group of students, asking them to create a poster for an event, for example. So the students in this way can maybe this event could be connected with the content we already discussed during the lesson. So the students doing this poster will develop the content they are studying, because they have to study it in order to synthesize and put it in a poster. And at the same time, they have to upgrade their skills in using digital technologies. And as you can see here, this tool that I remember you is free. Offer you the possibility to use an editor, really easy to use. With this editor, for example, you can create a poster, but you can also create, for example, presentation. Also, in this case, for example, you can see there are all the elements which can allow you to easily create a presentation. Okay, and in this case, of course, you have to pay in order to install it, because it's web-based. So I remember you. I repeat, this kind of tools could be useful. Also, it could be useful in two ways. Could be useful in order to develop content content for your students, and the second way, they can be proposed to your students like an instrument in order to complete a task, or in order to develop a content about the lesson or the topic that you are studying with the class. Okay. Sorry. The pick to chart is another example. Okay, the pick to chart is another example because the chart is another moment. I saw there is an error in the router. I'd like to fix. Okay, pick to chart is another example. Is really similar to Canva. Is really similar to Canva and offer you the possibility to create material. Also, in this case, cannot be created with educational purpose, but is really useful for educational purpose. Instead of enter and show you the interface, I will show you the presentation video that could be more understandable. And also in this case, you can use it for to create your contents, or to propose to your students for answer to an assignment or something like this. I open a bracket. For every technology that we will see together, I will never explain you how to use it in specific. So how to edit a file, how to create a presentation, etc. But I will give you information about how to use it in educational context, with educational purpose. So if you need information on how to specifically use the features of the technology, you can easily find a video tutorial on YouTube or the website of the application that we see. So okay, as you can see here, with this app, you can create easily. You can easily create brochure. You can easily export in different formats like PDF to share, or you can easily create graphs and infographics. And this make it really useful for example, for assignments. Moreover, it be useful to edit little clips, video clips. Okay, there are a lot of features that I suggest you to explore if you think if you have the possibility, if you have a good connection, and if you have the possibility to share educational material, educational digital material with your students. In the case your students have not appropriate device, I think this could not be the right technology to propose. Okay, let's see another example that we already mentioned. Also, this example have not been created with educational purposes, but is really useful for education. Not only it's really useful for education. This application is Google Maps. Google Maps, as you know, allow you to is a Google service which allow you to find places in a map or track the way in order to reach the place where you want to go. And but all his features allow us to imagine a lot of activities for teaching, but also can be easily used in order to during lesson, not only geography lesson, but in all the subjects. If we would like, for example, to rapidly see where is a place or which is maybe the distance from two places. I will give you in this case maybe a little bit stupid, but in my opinion, interesting example. Yesterday, while I was preparing lessons for you, I asked to myself, but which is the distance between the capital of Ghana and the capital of Nigeria? Because when I see the world map, I have not an idea, the full world map. When I see the full world map, I have not a right idea of how many kilometers there are from a point to another point. So I easily discovered that, as we can see, that the distance from Abuja and Accra. Sorry, I think the pronunciation is not right. Please forgive me. I discovered that the distance is 1,176 kilometers, and that which is a lot of distance instead of what I thought about before to search for it. Okay. So, excuse me for the stupid example, but maybe during a lesson, if we talk about a city, a place, or something like this, we can easily search on Google Maps where a place is, or we can see, for example, using the SAT view. We can also see how is the territory, or we can easily see some photos of some photos of a city that is interesting for us. For example, now I can see the main attractive things of Accra. Okay. For which regard teaching activities, also in this case, we can suggest it to the students in order to answer some assignment. And let's read together here in the presentation some possibility, for what this application could be useful for. For example, reconstruct the routes taken by historical figures, for example. Create maps showing particular places of interest related to a topic at the end, or facilitate students in reading maps. Propose to students a tool for group work, as it allows collaborative activities, or facilitate memorization of places, etc. So, I think this is a really good resource. Easy but good resource. Okay. Moreover, there is a sub app. We can define a sub app of Google Maps that is called which name is My Maps, that allow you to add specific to mark specific routes, and this in particular is really interesting, like an educational instrument, because for example, you can ask to your students to create the route of a famous person, and to show you this route. I give you an example, practical example. For example, okay, in this case, I ask to the students to create the route which a famous protagonist of a famous romance that is called Don Quixote did during the romance. So with this tool called My Maps, the student can identify a particular place, like in this case Madrid, and give it bookmark it with a letter in this case, but we can put also color, images, and notes. Also, after this, he can also put all the passages of the romance. Okay. Okay. Good. At least now, before going with another category of technology, we could. It's better if we synthesize a little bit what we said for the category which already explored. So we said that the digital tools and resources category comprehend hardware and software applications. Okay. We saw a lot of examples of hardware created for technology, for educational intents, but also hardware which are not created for educational intents, but we have to use if we want to use technology in education. And these hardware are, of course, computers, tablets, and all these sort of devices. We, for which regard the tools created for educational purpose, we mentioned whiteboards, tablets, virtual reality, projector, document camera, and audiovisual equipment, robotics and maker kits. But there are also other technologies that we didn't mention. I remember you that all these technologies are expensive. Every time you add a technology to your school, you have to buy it and you have to maintain it. So, in my opinion, it's always better to invest in teacher training and easy and reusable technologies. Okay. Sorry, and I repeat you that of the more that in the school we can find now the educational hardware more used in the school are, of course, PC tablet and whiteboards with projectors, whiteboards and projectors in the better cases. Okay. And so we saw also software applications. We saw some examples of software applications, and as also in this case, we saw that there are software that are explicitly designed for educational purpose, and other software that are designed for other aims, but we can 100% use for educational purpose. And we see several examples like WordWall for the first case, or Canva Maps Pictochart in the second case. So, okay. Now we could see the second category of educational technology, which I proposed you before. That is called enhanced learning experience category. So, which comprehend the technology which aim to improve the overall learning experience for students by providing opportunities for interactive, engaging, and personalized learning. They can include simulations, virtual labs, ebook, and multimedia presentation. I already said to you that a part of this technology could be overlapped in other categories that we already mentioned or we will mention. Now I would like to have a 10-minute break, please. And during this 10-minute break, I kindly ask you if you could write a comment, write a question in the chat, or think about some reflection to share with you. To share with me and your colleague after the break. So let's see in 10 minutes. Thank you. And please think and share your opinion and consideration about what we said until now, or please, if you have also questions which I could answer now or in the next lesson, please share. Hi, welcome back. Does something have got some consideration about what we said until now? I see that they wrote something. Thank you, Daisy. I read what you wrote in the chat, and really thank you for your intervention. So sometimes learning using online platform can be boring because it promotes a sedentary lifestyle, having to sit at one point for long. How can the facilitator handle such situation? Another aspect is also occupational hazard experienced by user of some of these technologies over time, especially radiation from gadgets over time. So, thank you, Dejin. Me a moment, I have to fix a thing. A moment. Okay. Let's try to give a feedback to Daisy. So, for which regard the first questions is a really good point. So, this problem, but also the problem that you have hence in the second question, is a good point, but it regards only the situation when we think about the use of technology, about the educational technology, like a technology that allow us only the distance education. The distance education when there is a teacher in a place and the learners in another place, and a teacher give contents and activity to the students through the use of learning platforms and using only this kind of educational technology. So we have in this case in this case a situation where the students is all the time in front of a screen, sit down on a chair and using a PC or a tablet. And in my opinion, we need to think about technology as a support, not only like the main medium of our learning, of our teaching practice. The case that you are describing in Daisy, in my opinion, is the case that the most part of teachers and students experienced during the COVID, during the pandemic, because we were obliged to use these instruments, and that are the same instruments that we are using now, for example. And I know that is that for you could be maybe boring to stay in front of a monitor for 3 hours long hearing a teacher from Italy which is talking you about educational technology. But in this specific case, we had not other option to organize this training. In the case you use technologies for your students in school, I suggest you to integrate the technologies in your teaching activities, alternating technologies, use technologies with practical activities. So teaching activities are good when they are dynamic and not static with one medium for the whole duration of the lesson, for example. Okay, we can go on with the example of this course. This course, of course, could be boring for you, I repeat, because you are in front of a smartphone for the most part of time. But as you had experienced it, I am trying to interact constantly. I am trying to interact with you. I am trying to. I asked you opinions. I am asking you to give me a feedback in order to create a conversation about the topics. Of course, is not guaranteed that students want to interact. So if you don't interact, I have to go on speaking and proposing you contents. And this could this is a problem because you are more bored. So please, if you if you like a more dynamic lesson, in our case, please interact, write, open the microphone, and give me your opinion, share your experience. Okay, for which regard, in synthesizing the answer to the question, I would say that we have always to consider all the variables when we design a teaching activity. So there are cases where we cannot we can we have to use for example distant tools for distant teaching, like for example Google Meet or other kind of tools like Zoom or something like this. But if we have the possibility, we have to balance all the variables. So if we are in a classroom, we can balance all the instruments. Of course, as they underlined in the comment, the monitor could be dangerous for the sight of the students. But in this case, there are a list of recommendations that suggest teacher and user how to sorry, Sorry. Sorry, I'm back and I am alive. I was saying that there are guidelines which suggest how to avoid the dangerous effect of the use of technologies. This is, for example, the reason because one of the reasons because I interrupted our lesson 2 times today, because every 50 minutes every 50 minutes in front of the screen is better to have 5-10 minutes with the eyes away from the screen. Okay. Another comment. Can we classify Microsoft and Qatar as educational software? Microsoft and Qatar. Give me a moment, because in this moment I don't remember what is Microsoft and Qatar. Encarta. Sorry. Oh, yes, of course. Encarta. Yes. Encarta is an encyclopedia and is an educational software. In this case, is an educational software. Is Encarta, sorry, right. Encarta. Encarta is an educational software, yes, of course, and is an educational software developed for education. Is an encyclopedia. Is really good for content. Okay, so if we give to our students, for example, an assignment where we ask them to develop a text or something like this, or a presentation, and they need to find information, one of the places where they can find information could be Encarta. But more easily, if we are talking about Wikipedia, if we are talking about encyclopedia, another example could be Wikipedia, which is an open source encyclopedia. I think that you know what I mean. What is? I think you know what is Wikipedia. And this is really interesting. The topic of encyclopedias are interesting because we could open the topic of the fake or true information, for example, and this encyclopedia could be a place where students can find the right information. But we will talk about it maybe in another moment. Now I saw that Isaac asked to talk. Isaac, would you like to give your contribution? Hi, Isaac.
Okay, so Michael, I wanted to know application like the Zoom and
Yes.
the one like Google Meet, are they also part of the educational apps you are talking about?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So Google Meet, like Zoom, like for example, there is another similar application of Microsoft called Teams. All these applications can consider educational technologies because in the way we, in the moment we use it for educational aims, but they have not been created for educational aims. I don't know if you understand. We use every day Google Meet, Zoom, and Teams for education, okay? So they are educational technologies, and they are medium that we can use for education. So we can consider it educational technologies. Yes, of course. But the difference from other kind of technologies that we saw before, that like word wall or technologies that we will see in next lessons, like the learning management system or something like this, are educational technologies that have been created and engineered for educational purpose. Okay? So yes, we can consider it educational technology. But we can also use Google Meet, Zoom, or other applications like this also for business aim, also for commercial aims, or for private activities like chat with parents, for example. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. We can see on the last category for today. So this category that we can call enhanced learning experience comprehend technology which aim to improve the overall learning experience for students by providing opportunities for interactive, engaging, and personalized learning. And they can include simulations, virtual labs, ebooks, multimedia presentation. Okay, so let's see what we have. Let's see some examples. In this case, maybe we can. Sorry. We talk about encyclopedia, and I forgot Wikipedia. After I will. Okay, is a note for me. So we have several applications that have been created mainly for educational technology, for educational purpose, even if it's not only for educational purpose, like Book Creator, which is a base application which enables construction of multimedia ebooks, for example. With this easily to use application, we can create EPUB files that we can charge on e-reader that we mentioned before. Or, for example, there are websites, websites which have been created in order to share with everybody a big amount of digital contents that are copyright free. As you know, there are a lot of content that are not copyright free. So if we want to to use it, we need to pay. So even if we would like to use it for educational purpose, we have always also to pay. But there are, but in the case these contents, digital contents, are not protected by copyright, we can easily find in archive.org. I will show you what this is. Okay, maybe if you would like to share with your students a particular book, you can easily find it inside this site. You see that there is category book. We can go to books, and if the book is not protected by copyright, you can find, for example, an old book, Divina Commedia, that is an Italian famous old book not covered by copyright. He will find a lot of versions of this book. The interesting thing is that this version are also scans of historical editions, so we can maybe study how these opera have been commented during the years. You can see here, for example, how many publications of Divina Commedia have been done during time. This is for the books. For example, in Italy, the Divina Commedia is studied in every school at every level, so this is really useful. But maybe we can search something all in English, like Hemingway. No, sorry, I write it wrong. Oscar Wilde. We can see these are all free books of Oscar Wilde in digital version. We can read it without paying. Okay, read it and use it with our students. If you have not funds for material, but you have some old devices with a connection, this is a really interesting site, because you can find a big amount of material. Now I show you books, but you can find also old version of websites or historical video, audio, but also famous images or software. Let's see, for example, we have famous images of NASA, official images. For example, here we have an images official images of the sun, but there are thousands and thousands of examples of official images. Or we can download and directly use old software, old version of software, or is old version of software, like, for example, the old MS-DOS, or thousands of softwares, or old game vintage softwares. You can, we have, of course, we have no time, as not the case, to explore all of these categories, but I assure you that here you can find a lot of material that you can use with your students. For example, we can see also the video. You can see here there are a lot of categories. There are copyright-free movies. You see there are the old movies of Charlie Chaplin. There are Western. Of course, there are really old movies, but they can be really useful in order to introduce particular topics with your students. Okay, that's enough for archive.com, but I would like to remember you that here you can find a big amount of resources for your students. Another important resource is, of course, Wikipedia. For who don't know what is Wikipedia, I briefly remember you what is it. Explain you what is it. Wikipedia is an encyclopedia, a free encyclopedia written by the users. The users which write information inside, write information in the encyclopedia, and check, and also check the validity of the information which the user insert. Is available in a lot, a really a big amount of languages, and but not only languages, because there are a lot of dialects, and also not official languages, and so on. Of course, depending on the languages, there are more or less information. For example, the English version is the bigger, but also the other languages are good. Now, sorry, turn in the English version. Okay. Of course, several words, several topics maybe are better explained in another language instead of the English, because, for example, I know if I search information about a famous Italian author, I will easily find it in the I will find more information in the Italian version, of course. In the most part of the case, the information that we can find in Wikipedia are well written, and they are right. And this is really important nowadays, because we have the problem with the fake news and the fake information. So when you give an assignment to your students, and you have to, if you give a work to do, that which comprehend the search of information, the free search of information in the internet, you can suggest to use to search. You can suggest to search information in the right places, the right website, like for example Wikipedia or archive.com could be a good place where to find good information. Okay, and so also the Wikipedia is a good good place where you can find information and a good site to use for educational purposes. Another site, really interesting site, is TeacherTube, where you can find a collection, a really wide collection of teaching materials in form of videos. Videos in different languages that can be used for introducing an argument, introducing a topic to lessons, or to use to propose to students for home study, something activities like this. I show you a brief example. Okay, you can see that we have a lot. We have several topics. For example, we can try maths. Here we have a lot of video about maths. We can search with keyword here the argument we need, and we can check if the video is good, because you have to remember that the video that you can find in TeacherTube are not checked. But every teacher can create a video and upload to TeacherTube. So before you use it with your student, it's better if you check if the contents are good. But let's try with a video on educational technology. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Sorry. I clicked a sponsored link. I think there are not videos on educational technology. This is good because better for me. So here, for example, educational songs. No, not a good example, I think. So we can come back on math example, or science better. Okay, here we have, for example, chemical engineering. Okay, let's try one video. Here there is a teacher who explain a particular sorry, there is the advertisement. Okay, we don't have to spend more time on this, but as you can see, there are video made by teacher. If you spend a little bit of time in order to search for the good video, you can use it with your student, or you can create and share with your student. Okay. We have not a lot of time anymore, so we can go on with other three applications that could be good for your activities. So the first is PHET. This is really good for who teach STEM subject, because allow to simulate physical experiment, physical chemistry. Sorry, I turn the language in English. Where is English? English, the first. Okay, there is physics, chemistry, math, earth science, biology. For example, we can see physics. Here we have the simulators for a lot of things. For example, we have the simulator of gravity. That is really easy to use and really useful, because they works like little games, but you can see all the variables of the phenomenon. For example, we can change, in this case, we get the friction and the gravity. So as you can see, the behavior of the skater girl change, and we can also see all the variables here. Let's see another example of simulator. There are also several, as you can see, several levels of application, several level of phenomenon. Or you can, here you can see the black body spectrum phenomenon. Also here we have all the variables to manage. I think these easy instruments are amazing for teaching physics. Okay, and I repeat, there is physics, chemistry, math, science, biology. There are we can try the chemistry for a moment. Here you can see there is, for example, states of matter, simulation. Okay, we can do states. You can see there is the material, in this case is neon. If we have different states of the matter. Okay, we can see how it behaves, the oxygen, the argon, water, and we can move on the temperature or right down. Moment, something is happening in the chat. Only moment. Okay. You can easily play with all these. Okay. These features and these apps. There are a lot of phenomenon that you can study and simulate with these easy apps. I think that to explain a concept with this visual support is could be really useful. Okay, for example, here you can read the application of this app, for example, making personal lecture more effective through visual simulation of physical phenomena, or to visually represent abstract concepts such as theorems, mathematical and physical laws, etc. Offer to students as a tool to use it independently to facilitate learning, cope with the absence shortage of in instrumentation laboratories we were to do real experiments. Also in this case is the teacher have to choice how to better implement the use of this application. Okay, let's see Stretch. Stretch is another application always web-based, so you have not to install software or something else. And here you have here you can sorry moment. Here you can this web app allow you to your students to create little softwares using as this was web-based app. So is a web-based, for the coding education. So it's good for. So here you can see the presentation. Okay. As you can see, there are blocks that instead of code lines that childs but other students can manage in order to create little softwares in order to empower the coding skills. Here you can find also other website created in order to empower coding skills. Not only for children, but also for adults. You will find it in the slide. Okay, another interesting app is GeoGebra. I don't know how to pronounce it. I turn it in English. Okay. What is GeoGebra? Is a really interesting web app that you can use it from the PC, from the tablet, where you want, which offer you a lot of instruments to support the math teaching. We can see for example, you have a calculator with all the diagrams and all the functions. You have different tools in order to calculate and represent turning point, roots, limits, and all the things, all the mathematics things that I confess you that I don't understand very well. But here, but I know that this website is frequently used by teacher or the math teacher. And maybe could be used during the lesson if the teacher has a projector, can use it to explain a concept, or can suggest to use it to the students for homework to better understand concepts by themselves. Okay, so it's time to close, and before say you which are individual activities for next time, I would like to ask you if if someone have something to say about about the contents we talk about today.
Can I speak?
Dave, hi. Welcome back.
Marco, okay, well done. It's been a wonderful job today, trying to take us through all this and so that we learn. I also discovered that because when I saw 3 hours, I said, "Are you going to run it?" I saw those breaks that okay, they were really useful. I'm trying to create a place such that the brain recovers. We don't have what you described in the first instance. Cognitive overload. That's very wonderful. And also taking us through some of these apps. We also have other apps that we also use to, but it's also good that we see this, that we are exposed, and it's really enriching. So I want to say it's also good. And the question I asked, I saw how you responded to, because sometimes I put my student in the learners, I put myself in the learners category, because during the COVID, we thought that way. We got interactions, we got feedback, it helped us to develop. So sometimes I always try to look at it from the learner's end, because the goal is always to ensure that the learner really, really learns. And this I always choose to support. So it's been really wonderful. That's my own observation. Thank you.
Thank you, really. Thank you, Dave. If also Isaac would like to talk. Isaac?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. What I was saying is, I was also enjoying your lecture very well. You were able to introduce me to so many applications which will help me and my learners. So, like the word well, I was very, very much impressed and enjoying, because I was able to use it after during the break time, and it was very, very useful. So I was we are very much appreciative for your time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Isaac. Thank you very much for your feedback. So if you want, I will explain you the individual activity for the next time, and after that, I remember you that the next lesson we will talk also about the project work. And that the activity that I propose you now will be useful also for the project work, and the project work will be mandatory. So, for which regard the individual activity for this time, moment I share the screen. Okay. Okay, for the next time, I ask you, as the last time, if you have question, please insert your question in the form. But moreover, I ask you to reflect about what we say today. And I ask you also to choose one of technologies presented and presented today, and try to imagine how it could support the teaching activities you do on a daily basis. I know that maybe you will never use this technology because maybe you have not the right infrastructure, or maybe you don't like it, okay? But I ask you to imagine how to use it, because we need to start to think, to imagine how to, which is the right way to introduce technologies as a support for learning, not as the main medium or as the main future of our teaching activity, but we have to start to think about technology as support. So please choose one of the technology we presented today, and we will find in the slide which Benedetta or Ivan we will share with you, and try to imagine how you could use for your teaching activities, and explain why you choose this technology and why you think could be useful for your teaching activity. In order to do this, use the link that you can find in the form. And so that's all. I hope Isaac, have you?
I think, sir, hello.
Yes, Isaac. Hello.
Are you going to save it on the Google Drive or the folder, or as you did the other time?
I think that yes, Benedetta or Ivan, we will share the slide, yes, with the link and or the individual.
I mean the individual activity. I mean the individual activity. We can access the individual activity at the place, right?
Is in the slide, is in the presentation, the last page of presentation, individual activity.
I mean the individual activity, where can we access it?
Okay, in the PDF, the PDF with the presentation that the organizer will share with you. Okay, the last slide of the presentation will contain the individual activity and the link for the form. If you click here, you go to the form for individual activity. Understand?
Okay, okay.
Is
Yeah.
inside the slide you can find the link for
Okay.
the Google form, but I will ask to organizers to maybe enhance this link in a mail or something like this. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Isaac, for this. Thank you very much. So we finished with the second lesson. We will see the next time. Sorry, stop the presentation. With the next time, we will see with the third lesson on the 31 October. Okay. So have a nice evening. Goodbye, everybody.